we launched the BBC Radio Leeds Thank You Teacher Awards, we asked you to nominate the teachers that had inspired you and had made a difference to your lives. We had a huge response, and our judges had a hard task on their hands deciding on the winners and runners-up. Over the next week or so, we're hearing from some of the people who made it onto the shortlist, as well as from the people who nominated them. Fiona Barr was nominated by Joanne Brophy. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
How are we? All right?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Marvellous. Now, Fiona is a teacher at West Silk in Stanningley and has made it onto the shortlist for the most inspirational special needs teacher in West Yorkshire. So let's find out why. Joanne, you'll be delighted to know that you're going first, because you can tell us, Joanne, just why did you nominate Fiona?
She's brilliant. She's absolutely fantastic, fanatical, passionate, and loves her students to pieces. She came to teach my now 18-year-old 6 years ago. The classroom wasn't brilliant. The kids weren't very happy. Since Fiona's come with her intensive interaction and just absolutely fantastic, passionate heart for these students, she's turned them around. It's a totally different class. The students are just different, happier. She's just marvellous. She really is marvellous.
Tell us about your daughter, Joanne, because that will maybe help us understand a bit more about what Fiona's done.
Yep, she's 18 now. She's autistic. She's epileptic. She has global developmental delay. But she's absolutely beautiful. She's non-verbal.
What's her name?
Nell.
Nell,
yes. Nell can't speak. So when she wants something, needs something, something's not right, she tells you through actions, through behaviour. If you don't understand what she's saying to you and you don't understand what she needs, she can get frustrated. That can come out in behaviours which people don't like. You know, she can be, I'm not going to say aggressive because that gives the wrong picture.
But she gets distressed.
Distressed and physical.
Yeah.
What Fiona's done is she's stripped everything back, and what she's said is to be able to move our kids on, you need to understand them, you need to communicate with them. And it's not about sitting them in a classroom and teaching them how to put blocks in tubs and roll a ball, and it's spending time with them, it's being with them, spending time with them, sharing space, getting to know them, letting them trust you. She took the classroom, the students, everything back to that and built it up from those foundations, and the results are just absolutely fantastic. We've now got happy students with very little behaviour problem, no challenging behaviour as such. They're just totally, they're different kids, and they're taking part in life, and Fiona's done that.
You must be very proud listening to that, Fiona.
Yeah, I am. Yep.
What does it feel like to be nominated for this?
It's massive because these children are quite complicated in many ways, and the thing is that as adults we superimpose our views on how people should live, and because these children are operating developmentally sort of 2 and under, we're wanting them to manipulate tools or to carry out tasks when actually they haven't learnt to communicate properly, they haven't learnt how to share space. So it's been a lot of hard work, because I've learnt to become an intensive interaction practitioner, and then I became a coordinator training for intensive interaction, so that we do that all the time. So these children know how to hug, they know how to sit next to you, they know how to share space, they know that they're loved, and then they can learn how to play and communicate from that. And that's how we started. And then I trained to be a specialist in sensory processing and understanding the medical conditions, and I created a brand new teaching approach which we're launching at the moment called WHISPA, which means working holistically, including intensive interaction, sensory and play approaches. And that package, those 4 strands, enable these children to be understood and able to develop and move on. People pitch it too high, and therefore, because they demand too much of these young people, the young people don't understand, and therefore behave negatively, and then we say they've got negative behaviours, and actually it's our inadequacy to communicate and be with these young people. When you understand them, you understand their medical needs, their sensory processing needs. How do you touch things? How do you smell things? How do you find out that a drawer opens and shuts? You've got to allow them to do those things. If they've only got a small number of interests, you don't deny them those interests. You give them those interests and you work from the interest. So that for Nell, she was told that her finger objects were obsessive because that's all she wanted. And so she spent the whole of the time trying to find them. We went the other way and said, no, this is what she needs. And we played with those things with her. We got more of them. She's now learnt to open and shut drawers and find new ones and share them with you. So she doesn't have to fight you to get what she wants. She knows what she wants. And because we facilitate that, she's happy. She's not stressed, so she can learn. And she's learnt to play. She's learnt to be with people. And she runs into class now in the morning. Joanne doesn't have to have her on. Was it risperidone and Ritalin?
Yeah.
They had her on anti-anxiety and to manage her behaviour. She didn't need that. She just needed to be loved, communicated with, and given the opportunity to learn to access the world through play.
It sounds more than a job, Fiona. It sounds like a vocation, a calling, or
It's
whatever
alive.
it is.
Yeah.
It's alive.
Yeah, it is. And I think the thing is that when you realise that, you realise how we all behave and that we all need to be accepted. And I think it impacts more than on schools. I think it impacts on how we deal with dementia patients, or it impacts on how we deal with stroke survivors, or all sorts of people that struggle to communicate. We need to actually make it possible for them by creating an interesting, caring, loving, secure world.
And the bond that you have, not only with the kids that you're working with, but the bond I can see between the pair of you. I don't know, I hope you don't mind me saying that.
No.
When both Fiona was talking just then, and also when Joanne was talking, you had a hand on each other's shoulder, when it was a difficult bit to talk about. And the bond that you've obviously got, not only with Joanne, but I'm guessing with the other parents and kids as well.
And with my support workers, because I have the most amazing support workers, teaching assistants. And they're totally, on board and wanting the training and wanting to apply it and be creative in their own right with it. And they've made it their own. And it's that team, because our young people need to see adults who actually like each other. They need to feel that it's that sort of caring environment where we're all a team, we all have different strengths, and we share it. And that's what we do.
Well, thank you both for coming in to talk to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. And if